This video will demonstrate the proper method for cyanobacteria sample collection. When you receive your sample collection kit, it will include a shipping label, a sampling instruction and reference sheet, multiple jars for storing your samples, and make sure you pay attention to which jars are marked A and BMAA, jar labels and pH test strips, a pair of waterproof gloves, and a few cold packs. Take the cold packs out of the kit and lay them flat in your freezer to freeze them so they can fit in the shipping container. When you arrive at your sampling location, you should first open the BloomWatch app and take photos of the water body to submit through BloomWatch. Follow the instructions in the BloomWatch app and take 3 images. The first image should show as much of the water body as possible, including the skyline to capture the weather conditions. The second photo will be of the shoreline approximately 10 feet away to document if the bloom has accumulated along the shoreline, which would pose a risk to the public and animals, both pets and wildlife. The final photo should be as close as possible or in a clear glass container while wearing waterproof gloves to see if the bloom material is floating or if it is identifiable up close. Submit the photos in the app and make sure to record the location coordinates in latitude and longitude so you can accurately label your sample bottles. After recording the coordinates, you can begin your sample collection. Your collecting technique may be different depending on the type of sample you're collecting. First, make sure you are wearing waterproof gloves to protect yourself from cyanobacteria exposure. Test the pH of the water using the provided test strip and compare the strip to the scale on the reference sheet. Make sure the pH is in the 5 to 7 range. After verifying the pH, fill the unmarked jar with water from your sample source, then pour the sample water into the amber jar with the lid marked A up to the fill line. This jar contains a preloaded diluent that will need to be gently mixed. Do the same for the second unmarked amber jar. The clear jar marked BMAA will also be filled, and all 3 jars will need to be frozen. Finally, fill the last unmarked amber jar to the fill line, and then add the preservative from the capsule to the jar. Be sure to handle the capsule with care and keep it away from your eyes. After you add the preservative, close the jar tightly with the lid and gently shake for approximately 10 seconds. This jar will not be frozen and will instead be placed in the refrigerator. When you finish sampling, fill out the sample label with the coordinate information you recorded from BloomWatch and affix it to the jars. And remember, write neatly when filling out the labels. Place the amber jar with the added preservative from the capsule in the refrigerator until you're ready to ship. All other jars will need to be frozen prior to shipping. When placing the jars in the freezer, make sure the lids are secure and place the jars on their side. When the sample jars are frozen and ready to ship, wrap them in protective padding and place the frozen jars in the bottom of the shipping container with the frozen cold packs. To stop the jars from breaking, fill any open space in the cooler with protective padding such as newspaper, bubble wrap, or other packing materials. Seal the shipping container and place a shipping label on the box. Remember, ship as soon as possible, but do not ship any samples on Fridays. Shipments are not able to be received at the laboratory over the weekend. To learn more about cyanobacteria sampling and the Cyanobacteria Monitoring Collaborative, visit cyanos.org.